more. No, you didn't. No. I mean, I think you meant what you said, Josh. Before we get into today's show, there's something I need to tell you. I need to tell all y'all, do not believe for 1 second. So you didn't say it right in your video, Josh. You made it about people and about relationships. Do not trust people's decisions right now. You've got these people in your pipeline, and you're used to those people making these decisions fast. That's changing right before our very eyes. Do not depend on what you have. You're going to have to add more people. How many people would you say you're working right now in your little hot list? 15. Okay, well, those people are going to stall out. How many people do you need in there now?
Probably about 30.
Probably about 50. I would not trust, their decision making is about to slow down. So it's like an airplane taking off and you're going fast and it's about to, now we're about to slow down a little bit. So you're going to need more people. So do not depend on the people in your pipeline right now. Do not depend on them to make a quick decision. It's going to be a delayed decision. And where you could go wrong is anticipating those people making the same decisions they were 4, 5, 6 months ago. Throw it over there. Put it right beside you. It's just water. Just leave it.
It's not all over me.
No, that was water. I apologize. I missed the ball. See, I ain't perfect. Damn it. As always, 60 seconds of gratitude. Before we start the morning grind tonight, I'm going to meet some really cool people. I'm going to have dinner with some hot shot people. If you're on here, like, comment, share the stream. These are people that I follow from all over the country. Like Bradley will be there. I'm around him quite a bit. Another gentleman, Albert Persado. Another gentleman, he's a Mexican man, by the way. Another guy by the name of Rob Luna. These people are doing huge things in the world, and it's going to be really cool tonight that I get to hang out with them at dinner with my wife. And then tomorrow I'll be in Nashville. I won't be here tomorrow at all. It's an all-day conference. See, I continue to learn, Josh.
Can I buy a ticket?
Not now. It's too late. It's sold out.
For what?
Well, I mean, what do you have to do tomorrow? Nothing? Not a damn thing? Well, see, that's an indicator we're in trouble.
No,
That's an indicator we're in trouble.
I always have things to do every single day.
Good morning, Amanda, Travis, Cecilia. Cameron, I thank y'all for getting on here. If you haven't shared the stream, because today I'm going to talk to y'all about something that everybody could improve. And it's, how did we word this, Van? What is communication assumption?
Assuming that somebody heard what you said.
Close.
I think it's assuming that they know.
That's exactly what it is. They think they know. I have one ticket for floor tickets to CMA if anyone wants to buy it. If anybody wants a CMA ticket, my girl Amanda's got one right here. Just reach out to her. You're exactly right, new girl. They assume. So me and my wife have these. We will go to a marital counselor. It was actually a premarital counselor. We would, jitterbug. We would go over there.
Talk about getting married, shit.
we would go to this premarital counselor, and we still go. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but that's enough. See, you get around that guy, and he's going to bring you down to like what?
Negative.
Where you don't even pay attention. So we go because of our communication. Most problems are a communication problem. So I will play with my wife, and she doesn't even know it. But see, my problem is what I'm doing is a communication problem. So I called her this morning. I don't think she's on here right now, but I was testing her. I just asked this, hey, what time will you be in here? She's going to take that a certain way. Now, the way you respond to somebody, it's more about you and yourself as opposed to what I'm saying. So if I were to ask you, Josh, hey, what time will you get here? What is that? What are you saying to yourself?
Tell myself what time I'm going to get there.
Okay. What do you think she says whenever I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What time? Like another big thing, it's $400. Gold Circle 11, row 8. I don't know what that means, but if you're wanting to go, it's $400. So another thing that I do is I'll get home and she's in there and she's cooking. And I'll just say something like, hey, what time will that be ready? What does that indicate with her? What is that telling her?
You're hungry now.
Is that how you would take
All
that?
he cares about is this damn food. He don't care about me cooking.
Is that how you think you would take it? If we were
No, that's
dating,
what I think she would
if we were dating and I came home and I'm like, hey, Josh, what time will that be ready? What would you say?
5 minutes.
You got something to do before that's
I would just tell you the time.
Well, see, the reason why I'm doing a bad job of communicating is because of this. I could go, hey, Brittany, I'd like to do something. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. How long will you be cooking before it's ready? I skip those steps. And what happens, it's just like what we train on over here. It's called RDR, Reactionary Defense Responses, to where if you're in a store and somebody walks up to you that's a salesperson, they're like, hey, can I help you? Nope, nope, not interested. Hey, just killing time. Well, whenever you're with people, especially people that are close to you, you also just have these responses that are very, very reactionary. Therefore, you're not a good communicator. So whenever I'm communicating with people, no matter who it is, I've just trained myself as I do not want to leave the conversation until I know. I don't like to just respond, but it still is a bad habit I might get into because I'm assuming I already know what you mean or what you're trying to do. It's a problem that I'm having. Am I making sense? Yeah. So this morning I called my wife, or I sent her a little message, hey, what time will you be here? And I was checking to see if she would take that as I'm wanting her to get here in a hurry. Van, how do you think she responded?
She basically just told us what she's gonna do and when she'd be here.
Did she get a little defensive?
Why the hell does it matter?
She's on
I
now.
don't think she did, really, no.
Well, Van, that ain't what you said when I was in there.
There was a hint of it, yeah.
Well, what is see? I'm getting clear with my communication with Van. In there, he said she got a little defensive, but now since she can hear it, Van changed his belief a little bit. You ever notice that? So whenever you're communicating with people, I always believe this: if they misunderstand, it's my fault. If they don't know something, it's my fault. So whenever I talk to you, I normally will talk to you like we're in third grade.
Do I have your permission to talk to you like you're?
Do I have permission to talk to you like you're an idiot, Josh?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
You don't need permission.
Would you be offended if I just thought you were complaining? Well, see, the problem I have with my wife, she calls it mansplaining.
What's that mean?
Mansplaining is whenever you're over-explaining something that's simple that's already understood. I never trust that you know what I'm talking about because it's my job as a communicator for you to understand clearly my point. Except with my wife. Hey, what time will that be ready? Damn it, quit rushing me. Or, hey, what time will you be ready? She takes that as I'm rushing her. See, the problem is this. I know what I'm doing. I'm just messing with her. I need to take more control. And hey, I'm not in a hurry. I was just wanting to know what time will you be ready, because if I want to go in there and look at it on the internet, or if I want to do this, I'll be ready for you. I don't do that. So communication, it works both ways. But the problem with communication is usually we won't ask enough questions whenever we're listening. And we just act like we know. And the other person's sitting there and they're assuming, okay, because you shook your head at me. You could be thinking, I don't know what the hell this dude's talking about, but I just want him to shut up. You ever do that, Josh?
All the time.
Do you really? Probably when I'm teaching Amanda. I literally have multiple contracts laid out for my clients. Most continue to fail to do the things we need done before our job is carried out. Yet they get frustrated. I give the client a personal copy to take home and read and then copy through DocuSign. What would you advise? Okay, that's a great question, Amanda. Thank you for answering. I believe this, and this is a very, 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 very high level of personal responsibility. Did you hear what Amanda said? Did you listen to what I was saying?
I got the gist of it.
What did you hear?
So she sends out contracts to her clients.
Yep.
And
they're still not following through.
They're like, yeah.
But she feels like I've gone above and beyond to communicate what needs to be done before we can complete this.
Right.
I would look at it like this, Amanda. I would feel like I still haven't done my job thoroughly enough because I'm not getting the result that I want. Most people won't take that level of personal responsibility. We've got a saying around here. Jake showed up this morning at 8:17. What time should he be here?
8 o'clock.
Why was he late?
Oh,
No. It ain't your fault.
It's our fault.
It's my fault. Amanda, I had them broken down and explain everything before they leave. Okay. But something is still going wrong. And if it's going wrong, Amanda, I'm going to take the personal responsibility and say there's something either too complicated, something that's either too unclear. There's a reason. If it happens over and over and over again, or does it happen just once?
maybe it's my presentation.
Could be, but I don't leave conversations, and it can be very frustrating because I don't step away, I don't walk away, I don't finish until I know that you know, that we know. And this step in our process, Amanda, it's something that we do, but a lot of people here skip this step. Do you know what the step is? Validate. So before you leave, hey, Josh, before you leave and you sign this order, you take this home, is there anything here you're not sure of? Have you read all of this? Like I've caught you that one time. Well, it was in the contract. You told them that, didn't you? Yeah, I remember. You signed it as in the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Would I?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking of a situation.
Yeah, well, how would that make me feel if I'm the client? Remember, this belief that the client is always right because you don't want a client one time. You want to multiply the client, their business, and the friend's business. She said this, would a checklist be better? I know people have different learning strategies. I would look around and I would figure something out to where this, if the problem continues to happen, Amanda, you and Angel have got to say, hey, there's something complicated here. And I think a lot of times business owners implement complicated strategies that do not work for the client. It's got to be client focused to where they can understand. Like yesterday, I was talking to somebody and I called them up and I wanted to buy leads. Okay. And I was very, very pushy in there. I was trying to get off the phone, but she wouldn't let me. She's like, hold on. I got to go over something. Didn't she, Van? I mean, it was getting frustrated. But she sat there and she made us understand before we got off the phone. She validated a lot of things. How often are you validating before you move on? Do you understand exactly what I'm saying? Is there any part of you that does not understand? Am I making sense here? Am I?
You just validated.
That's communication breaks down because of this step of validation. It's left out. Or you don't control the way they're going to respond. Their defensiveness, their RDR is going to take over because they assume they know what I'm saying. Hey, what time will you be ready? Hey, what time will that be? What time will that be done? Hey, what time will you be here? I'm just asking a very, very unclear question. I could ask that a lot better. Remember, there's not just one person in communication. There's multiple people here. And the person, Gabe's on here, hey, he's running for office. Very, very, very important to be able to communicate. Because if you can talk to somebody and they can walk away and they I believe this, if I'm talking to you and you walk away and you're saying some things that I didn't say, I feel like that's my fault. And a lot of people are just never going to take this high level of responsibility.
You're going to say, damn, you didn't listen.
That's right. He didn't listen. I hear that all the time. Well, damn, they didn't listen to me. Well, whose fault is it? Whose fucking fault is it? Is what I'm going to say. Pardon my language. But whenever you're with somebody and they don't remember, it's your fault. That's the level of personal responsibility that I take, and I want everybody that comes here, I want them to take that, because you will be amazed at how much you can improve your life whenever you take personal responsibility. Hey, that truck, is it still the truck's fault or your fault?
Well, that was my fault.
Was it?
For sure.
If Cameron doesn't show up today, whose fault is it?
Cameron's fault?
Yeah. See, that's not the way I look at it. Whose fault is it?
Your fault.
Whose fault is it?
My fault.
Wayne, it's your fault that he showed up.
My fault.
A lot of people do not understand this unreasonable belief that I have. But because I have this unreasonable belief, I feel like I'm superhuman in what I can make happen. I feel like I've got a magical power because I take this belief that it's my fault if he didn't show up. Can you do that? Can you get there?
Yes.
Can you? Well, to do that, you've got to take personal responsibility. Jake, what time did you get here?
8:17.
Whose fault was that?
Yours.
Well, we can blame me for everything, but it is my fault. But it's not your fault. It doesn't sound like.
No.
Okay. Well, you got a ways to. If you ever want to be a magician, I mean, where you're doing superhuman things in life, I feel like if I can get this team to 1,000 homes, that's like a superhuman quality. If you ever want to become a magician in your life, you're going to always have to take personal responsibility for everything that's around you, everything that you're involved in. Okay, gotta own your mistakes and be willing to drill down and find them sometimes. I can always drill down and find my mistake. I should have called you.
If Gabe doesn't win, it's my fault.
If you don't win, it'll be our fault. So just think about that. The true champs out there take on that load. Michael Jordan, if his team didn't win, it was his fault. Even if he put up 48 points that night, it's still his fault. Van Grafton, shut us down. But my question is this: how well do you communicate, and how much personal responsibility are you willing to take? Come on, shut us down.